Hi, thanks for joining me. So today I'd like to talk about some pickups and birthday gifts that I got just recently. Friday was my birthday, and I am middle-aged still, more or less, and um, I got to hang out with some buddies, so that was a lot of fun. I'm actually going to spend a little time with my dad celebrating in just a couple days. But I wanted to go ahead and just talk about a couple of these things while it was on my mind, and it's the weekend and stuff like that. So for starters, we're starting with Warhammer again. My buddy that I'm playing Shadow War Armageddon and Deathwatch Overkill with still got me a really cool set here. This is the Kill Team set for Genestealer Cults, which is what I'm playing right now. This is Starn's Disciples. And this is a super cool set. If you guys remember from, I think, Christmas, like a year ago, not this, just this past Christmas, which was a couple months ago, my dad got this for me for Christmas. This is the Acolyte Hybrids set models, and basically you can build them two ways. So you can build them as hybrids or as metamorphs, or like a combination thereof. I'm assuming I still haven't even built these because mostly I still need to paint so many of my Deathwatch Overkill models that there's no point in my putting them together. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to do metamorphs or hybrids or which ones. And what's cool, actually, come to find out, is that this basically includes this set. It's these exact same sprues, plus this unique character. So, and I think this is the only way that you can get this character in this set. I forget what they're called. It might say on here. Oh, actually, it comes with some terrain too, which is pretty cool. But yes, Kellermorph is this character. He's like a three-handed gunslinger, basically. It's cool. It's a cool model. So so thank you so much. And my buddy that got me that, he watches my videos sometimes. Really appreciate that, and you didn't have to do that, and it's great. My folks also picked me some things off of my wish list on Amazon, which I totally wasn't expecting. I mean, it's not an inconceivable thing. I shared my wish list with them for the past, whatever, probably 3 or 4 or 5 years on Amazon, like around the holidays and stuff. They've asked me like what I want, and but yes, they just picked me some things off of it for my birthday. They've never done that, basically, and that was super thoughtful of them. And yeah, I got some really cool stuff. So Pokemon Advanced. This is a continuation. I'm still collecting the old Pokemon anime. Again, I think I've mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of the Pokemon games. I've always thought they seemed interesting, but I've just never had Nintendo handhelds and really gotten into the series, and they've never released like a regular RPG on their home platforms. It's just, they've just never done that until the Switch, which is technically a handheld system. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds with the Switch, and that's kind of why I'd like to play Let's Go Pokemon, Pikachu and Eevee versions, and now they're doing, like Sword and Shield, which is I guess a little bit more classic, but I actually thought the Let's Go one seemed pretty cool. But anyway, but I just love the anime. It's just fun, it's stupid, it's repetitive, but I like it. They also got me this, Sailor Moon S, the movie, which is great. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't actually know if the quality of the show itself, but I super appreciate this. You guys remember I just picked up Sailor Moon Super S, the first and second sets of that, so all that's left is Sailor Stars. But I didn't have all the movies. I didn't even have all the movies that are out yet. I got Sailor Moon R around the holidays, so this is the S movie. I'd seen R before. It's really good. I don't know about S. I haven't seen it. But I think I'm still watching S, the series. So I started watching that again within the past couple months, and I can just only take so much Sailor Moon at once. So I watched a handful of episodes, and then I still have to get back to it. So I'm going to finish up that series, and then I'll watch the movie. So really excited about that. And I did pick up a handful of games, and maybe not even a handful of games, like a few games. So for starters, this was sort of with like Christmas money, but it wasn't really in my Christmas loot video. I got Raiden 5. You guys may know I am a big fan of the Raiden series. I'd never really been into shooters a whole lot, and I think what sparked my interest again in like a modern times is a retro game. It was finding the original Raiden on the Jaguar. I have a Jaguar. You know, my buddy had one back in the day, so we played a bunch of it back then. But you know, it sort of now I hadn't really played my Jaguar even since I got it for the past whatever decade or so. I just didn't really have an excuse to play it all that much, and finding Raiden out in the wild, I picked it up and I bought it. I really liked it, and it got me into shoot 'em ups again. It got me interested. I looked through my collection to see what shoot 'em ups I had. I've played some of them, and just over the years I've gotten more and more into them. So I like Raiden 3. I beat that. I think I've played Raiden 4 on the Xbox 360, but I don't think I've beaten it. I may have, may not have. I just beat this on normal, like I don't know, last week or a couple weeks ago. Super good. It's Raiden, which is cool. I have to admit, like, the bosses, I think, after playing, like, Caladrius Blaze, which is by the same company, I'm like, those bosses were way better than these bosses. But I haven't played it, I haven't tried it on a higher difficulty, I haven't done a lot of that stuff, and, it seems like it's kind of easy where it seems like you have unlimited continues. I at least didn't hit the continue cap. But I'd like to play it more. I'm definitely going to play this more, practice up on it, just kind of see what else the game has to offer. But what I've played of it so far, I really enjoyed. It's a fun shooter. And, this is something that I just decided to keep going with. These are super cheap. So basically I got these couple of games here, which I'll show you, for like maybe, in the end it's going to be the equivalent of maybe $6, $7 each, something like that. The first one is Super Golf. Now this is one that I was sort of going by a rarity list. This is for the Game Gear, obviously. I was sort of going by a rarity list, and this wasn't on it. So, there's lists out there, some of them aren't complete. I don't really know what the rarity of this would be, but it seems like it's a little uncommon. But it crops up, and what I've had is these alerts, like these I'm following searches on eBay, and I've had them up for years now, probably a good 4 or 5 years, and so basically I was just like, have I ever gotten Super Golf? And I looked and it didn't look like I had. One just popped up for like, this was like $7 or $8 or something, and I'm like, you know what? It's my birthday. I'll just get it, And like, I could be getting cool Japanese Dreamcast games, and there's still like a ton of Game Gear games that I need, but when I went about this Game Gear collection, I decided to get, to a certain extent, the rarer, more expensive, harder to find games first. And I think that's a really good idea if you're going for a complete collection. A lot of times you don't know if you're going for a complete collection, so sometimes it's fun to like get cheaper games first because they're cheaper and you can get more of them. But there are unfortunately a handful of games still for like the US, North American Game Gear, that are like I'm priced out of right now. There's like a couple of expensive ones where I'm like, I can't buy those now, but I can afford $7 on this, and so like I just bought it. So there's kind of a short list of games that I can like still afford, and they crop up sometimes on the Game Gear. So I think I'm just gonna finish those out, and then all I'll have left is commons, which should all be pretty cheap, and then just like maybe probably like 4 pretty expensive games. So the other one I got was this one here, The Simpsons Bartman meets Radioactive Man. So that's what I got. Just in terms of like life and stuff. Well, for my birthday, I got to hang out with one of my buddies. A couple of my buddies. But one of my buddies in particular came up. We gamed a little bit. We played some Spider-Man, which was cool. He let me borrow this. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to play this, and I think this is something I don't like talking about, and I don't know. Like, I just sort of assume people sort of know, because I've mentioned before, like, I've struggled with some anxiety issues over the past several years. Like, I mention it in my videos, but like, like even to like this buddy, like I've mentioned it before too, like he and I were playing Destiny for a little while, and like when Destiny first came out, I liked it, you know, I was having fun playing it and stuff. But that was like right around when I first started getting some you know, and when anxiety started interrupting my life and my game playing too. And you know, so I'll tell him, like, you know, Destiny 2 came out, and he's like, oh, why don't you just play it? I just told him I don't think I can, you know. And you know, we were playing this the other night, and I was going there, and I could just feel it was a little too stressful for me. And like, you know, at one point I think I've hit my limit, you know, like I was fighting the Kingpin. It's sort of like just right in just the first prologue, like tutorial stuff. It's like you go through a little thing and then you do a boss fight. It's spoiler, it's the Kingpin. So I was fighting him, you know, and like I just handed the controller over to my buddy, and he just finished it up for me. But like, you know, within maybe 5-10 minutes, like I had to be like, stop, you know. I mean, and I just like I kind of like I curled up in like literally on my couch in the corner with my friend right there, you know, and I'm just like, oh, you know. But it's like, I mean, in that moment, he got to see that, like, I can't play games sometimes, and I guess so. What I'm trying to convey to you guys is, you guys probably don't know that I can't play games sometimes, and it's like because of this level of background anxiety that I have, and some of that is just modern life. You know, we're living in a time right now it's just not good, and I let that get to me. Some of it is self-care, some of it is just emotional stuff from my past. It's a lot of things. I think I've sort of just gotten to this point in my life. And, you know, I think there are probably some things just in my daily life I can do to just sort of like, you know, kind of help myself stay at a normal level of anxiety. And I think there are some things I can do in terms of like maybe addressing, you know, emotional issues from maybe when I was a kid or any of those things, you know, maybe talk with someone and, you know, kind of get to a good point with that. But as it is, like, just, you know, for the past several years, like, there are just times when I can't do things that I used to be able to do, and sometimes that's playing games. I was surprised I was able to play Raiden 5. Somehow this is a little bit more zen, and like when I played through it, like, I don't think it really triggered too much anxiety stuff. But sometimes I just, you know, I can't play a really actiony game. I can't do some of these things. It's like it's too much information going in, and it like overwhelms me, and then I just, like, my body starts freaking out. So that's just a thing that I deal with. So, you know, if you guys are wondering why, you know, I've been off playing games a little bit, you know, and I'm off, I mean, like, I don't play as much anymore. That's why. I just can't. I literally can't play some games. Like, they're too stressful for me, and then I, you know, have problems. So, we'll see. I might be able to play Spider-Man. I might not. But I'll jump back in. You know, sometimes with stuff like that, if I play it for just like a half hour a day or something, it's not that big a deal. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys the stuff I got. You know, again, say it was so nice hanging out with friends, and a bunch of people wished me happy birthday on Facebook, and, you know, people that watch my channel and stuff. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And you know, I got a haircut and stuff. I'm trying to get, you know, my life in order here. We'll see how it goes. But I got a lot of fun stuff here to occupy my time. Do a little painting, watch some anime, play a couple games, and just, you know, kind of keep on keeping on. So thanks for watching, and hope you join me again.